This is DecideX, and we have some guests. Rari, welcome. Yes, welcome. We have Rari in the show. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Have a seat.
My pleasure.
All the way from USA. We've got Fraten. Hi, Fraten.
Hey.
Good? Thank you. You turn pumpkins into oil.
Yeah.
Sit here and tell us how you do it. We've got a friend of mine, Alexander. And hi, Alexander.
Hi, bro.
Thank you in the world of business. Have a seat. He does employment and does business, and he mixes all of them, and he makes it. So now, this is DecideX. It's the only exclusive entrepreneurship reality TV show. And for information already, we set up this so that we can be a class, a tutor for the employees who want to turn into business, but also young small businesses who want to turn into corporates. And here we have an amazing theme. It is building the mindset of an entrepreneur. And I know you've been doing business for 50 years in USA. Yes. And you run a 40 years old company called Trotter Electric. So you're going to tell us how you built that mindset to become that corporate. Yes. And I know you come from a small family back in the years. And I don't know how you became a business magnate and consultant on such a global scale. You will tell us more. And I know these young men are also connecting dots backwards. And I don't know how they built that mindset. We all come from, environment that doesn't favor us to be entrepreneurs. So he will tell us how he built his mindset to that. And Alexander also will tell us how he tuned his mindset to business. It's an amazing show. And let's face the reality. Now, Rari, how are you?
I'm good.
And tell us, how comes you're in Rwanda?
Well, I've worked with a group called Lighthouse Children's Home. Where my wife and I work with a young lady who's been in America for 8 years. She's kind of like a daughter. And she has a home that she took children off the street 8 years ago. And we got involved with Anita's schooling, her college education, and then we also were involved in the children.
Interesting. You're not doing philanthropy. Kinda. Well, and you run a Trotter Electric.
Yeah, I run Trotter Electric, which is an electrical contracting company. We work with hospitals and restaurants to make sure that their power is working properly, and I have 16 electricians on a daily basis of doing these jobs.
Wow. Is there any African in the team?
Not an African in the team. We have an African American on our team who's
okay.
a good worker.
As long as it's a black color, we are fine. So, interesting.
I have that.
Fraten, tell me, we've been friends for a few days. Yeah. But I've come to learn about your story, and it's amazing. It's exceptional, very serious. Tell us your names and all that. So, briefly, who are you?
Yeah, thank you so much. My name is Fraterone Manishimwe. Yeah, I'm a young entrepreneur. Of course, I'm 27 years old now, and I'm running a company that is adding value.
You look a father. You look a father, and you're just 27.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I look father, but also I'm acting as a father. So, yeah, that's why. So, Sanejo Limited is a company based in Northern Province, and now what we're doing, we're producing oil out of pumpkins. Yeah, actually.
And that's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You can pick it up. Free exhibition.
Yeah, that's oil. It's very.
How much does it cost?
Yeah, this is 3,000.
3,000. That's
francs.
Cheap.
Yeah,
you're doing philanthropy in the end.
Yeah, it's really kind of cheap, very cheap, because this is the response to our health here in Rwanda, but we also want to grow domestic economy. We want to build like a very independent economy.
Sure.
We are importing 80% of food that we are consuming is from outside. Since Rwanda is Rwandan economy is said that it's based on agriculture, I mean farming. So actually we should use this opportunity and this mindset and try to find a solution.
Wow.
We no longer be importing oil from outside.
When I was young, we were a bit poor, and I remember on Christmas we once ate pumpkins as our Christmas food.
Really?
I didn't know that someone can turn that pumpkin into an oil.
Oh yeah, yeah. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
All right, I like the thing. You see what an African man can do?
Yes, I like that.
Man, tell me, how did you come into business? You can exchange microphone.
Thank you very much. My name is Ndamukunda Alexander, a young entrepreneur. So I've been volunteering for a couple of years, and actually that has given me a basis of thinking about what I can do as a young man. So finally I got an opportunity, which was employment, but from that I had something in mind because I had already seen gaps all around in our country through those opportunities of volunteering. And I said, why can't I come up with something that is going to be a solution and at the same time job opportunity to other people and also a company to, to myself and to the country in general. And the company is called Kunda Art Limited. We already registered and we have started working. So we do designs. We do T-shirts. We make interior designs. We entering in someone's house, which is very beautiful, and you find everything is kind of disorganized. You think what is going wrong? It's a lack of interior design and the setup stuff.
Wow.
And we do also event management. Some people have ideas of events they can do, but they don't have management skills. So through the experience gained in volunteering industry, I came up with the idea of coming up with actually a package that can help people implement what they want to implement through events that are well managed and organized.
I think your business is a hot cake in Rwanda because Rwanda is becoming a destination of every event. So, coming up with event management service, I think you're going to be a young millionaire. So, interesting. Now, Rory, let's come back to you. You own a 40 years old company.
Yes.
I don't know how old you are. So, I think you are like 30 years older than the company.
Yes.
And how did you build up your entrepreneurial mindset?
Well, mine came through, I guess, being born into it. Having a father who had a very small business, which was a general store in a very small village type operation. And then growing that business and moving and starting it over again in another location. So I watched that, and then my oldest brother, who's 10 years older than me, went into supermarket business, and just watched him and was always very interested in that. But in reality, I think the entrepreneurial mindset is one that covers every spectrum of life. It doesn't have to be that you own a business.
That's true.
To have an entrepreneurial mindset.
I like that.
Entrepreneurial mindset is just a mental activity that you make a commitment to what you're doing. I've always, and the mindset that I developed very early on was that God was my boss. No one else was my boss but God. And I have to really work from the standpoint that I want Him to be happy with my work. And if God's happy with my work, I have a pretty good idea that people that I work for and work with are going to be happy with what I produce.
Only God was your boss.
Yes.
From now on, nobody will be my boss. Only God will be my boss.
I discovered very early that He's a better boss than most anyone else I can work for.
And He doesn't stress like
He doesn't stress me out like
okay.
others, and so I was able to face a lot of big challenges.
Whew. I tell every employee from tomorrow, Monday, actually this is a good day for you, this is Sunday. So from Monday tomorrow, you can make a great lifetime decision that only God is going to be your boss. That's a life-changing, that's an eye-opener. Interesting. Now, tell me, Fred, hold the microphone. Tell me, I don't know your background, but I know everyone's background, and I think you're Rwandan.
Yes, I am.
So from that family that I can see closing my eyes,
Yeah.
how did you come up with this mindset of doing entrepreneurship, planning such a company? Man, turning a physical thing into a liquid thing, it's critical, it's crazy, phenomenal. How did you build up that mindset?
Actually, it's all about life. That's number one. Number two, it's all about yourself to feel committed to challenges. You see challenges.
Committed to challenges.
Yeah. You have to make sure challenges are there for you, and you are there for challenges. Then you have to find your way out. So, and I'm telling you this because I've been living in a country. I was born and grew up in a village.
That's what
where,
I saw.
Yeah, where.
That's what I was seeing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where my family was living and feeding on farming, and also like.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you grew up seeing pumpkins.
Yeah, getting money from farming, but then when I grew up and wanted to access like good education, I was to go to like this poor school because they were not able to pay like my school fees in the best school. And also like when coming back to nutrition, I saw we have something, but then when we are not eating the food that we really wanted to eat, comparing to other families. And this one was one of the
your skin pretends as if you had good food.
Really? Yeah, actually, this what I've been eating, so it collected everything. Yeah.
So it resumed everything you lost.
Yeah. It restored my life,
Wow.
So, and again, when I started reading and doing some researches at the university, because I was doing social work and administration, so it was like everyone is happy. Then when he's happy, he can see future as positive. But when you are not happy, then you are depressed and you lose hope.
And I think pumpkin, does contribute a lot into someone's happiness.
Yeah, seriously, because you know what, this oil reduces stress.
Really?
Yeah, and also reduces cancer risk, like prostate cancer, especially for males. And also, it also helps blood circulation. So for those people who are...
And you're a medical entrepreneur?
Yeah, actually, I'm a humble entrepreneur, social entrepreneur. That's what you do. And again, the way I discovered this, it's like, of course, I had this passion to bring change. I want to leverage the economy in my family, just basically on my family. Then this was the common case for the whole village and for the whole Rwanda. And again, I wanted also to create job, because when we supply the fresh pumpkins, we are then creating people.
By the way, do you have your own plantation for this?
No, we have our own farm.
Really?
For demonstration, like we are getting pumpkins from individual farmers and also cooperative farmers. So then we have a way to build their capacity. Do you have special campaigns
for the farmers to grow pumpkins?
Yes. Because we are partnering with some companies, some partners. So
basically, you built up this mindset because of number one, the poverty grew up in the malnutrition. You wanted to elevate.
Yeah, to improve what else? The livings, and also I wanted to support the economy of Rwanda, because I read and did research. I saw we are importing a lot, and we are not using our current available resources.
Wow.
And this is one of the solutions. And again, I was once traveling to Kigali to visit my uncle. You know what happened? When we went to a hotel, my uncle went to buffet and chose pumpkins. And I was like, why are you taking this? And I was like, this is very nice. Why? It's very healthy, You see, I'm fat, so I need to schedule. So I was like, really? So then I contacted my friend who was studying in Senegal, and he was doing food drug. And he said like, this is very nice. I'm going to do research. Then he carried on research. And I had my other guy called Jean Dodier, and he was studying agriculture in Kavem, that University of Rwanda. And I was like, okay, please keep doing this research. My uncle is surprising me that pumpkin is very nice. you know. And then coming back to my family, I remembered when my mom was cultivating or stealing and was like rejecting or throwing away some small pumpkins, you know. And at the end, we cut them and we feed them our cow or goats, you know. So and this was a problem because we are not even getting enough food, and you are feeding animals fresh meal, you know.
Sure.
I was like, this really is not sounding good. So
wow.
then after, when we did this research, we said we cannot do this research as alone, so we need to cooperate with farmers because we didn't have our own farms as youth. So, and we were away from our families. Then we started Sanejo Community Project.
By the way, is Sanejo a conjunction of two words, Sana and then Ejo?
Yeah, actually we just, it's Sanejo, it's Heal the Future.
Heal the Future.
Yeah.
I like that. Pass the microphone to them. Alexander, tell me, I know where you work from, let me not mention. So you work from there, and then you also started a company. And how do you build up that mindset? Is it because you're not satisfied with the job? Is there something else, a story behind the curtains? Tell us.
Always, when you are an employer or employed, whenever you are employee or employer, there are two things involved. Either if you are employer, you want to keep your good employees in your company. And when you are a good employee, you think beyond where you are working from. So that creates actually a fear for life after employment. And actually, even in life within employment, it is actually a limitation if you can make something that other people are going to benefit from. Because remember, if you are an employee in someone's company or institution, you are benefiting as an individual. But if you have something else other people benefit from, then is the main thing that everyone has to consider. So,
can you repeat that?
When you are an employee to someone's company, it is an opportunity for you as an individual. But when you are an employee who has a company that is running, you are benefiting other individuals who are not benefiting from the very institution you are working for.
I will supplement on that. President Kenyatta says that when you're an employee and you die, before your burial, you are chased out of the employment house. And that's so crazy how your employer will never be kind for you, that you are dead. Maybe at least your family keeps your house. You know, that's so sad. So I think only your own company can contribute to your family even after your death.
Actually, previously, I started with some guys, an NGO called the Revived Generation, and it helps young people actually discover their potential.
Don't talk about the NGO, talk about the company.
And I just want to talk the source. I want to talk about the source of the company. So it's not a marketing, it's an NGO, you don't need to market. So from that, I realized that many guys have potential talents that are actually kept in stores, that if they are brought all together, they can make productivity out of that. Actually, most of the kids we are using to do different things, designs, drawings, setups, interior designs.
So amazing.
Yeah, so I realized that if I don't actually use the little I get from employment to equip these young people to also start their own stuffs, because our company does not keep employees. We do equip them, and we leave them to go and start their own stuffs. So we believe that now, from actually bringing together all those potentials and talents that those young people have, then it will be creating opportunities for other people, as I'm also serving in somebody's institution that I think I'm adding value, to.
Now let's come back to Rory. But here is an interesting now shift of the conversation we're gonna have. It's we are going to me, I believe, building the mindset of an entrepreneur. To me, I've been running consultants for the startups for quite long, and I've had so many young entrepreneurs coming in my office for questions, and I've seen that three things influence the mindset of entrepreneurship. Number one is a personal background. The way we are raised affects so much our entrepreneurial mindset. Number two is education systems impact a lot our mindset towards entrepreneurship. And number 3 is, I think, our culture. There's the way you are raised as a person and as a family, respectively, but also there's an environment, there's a culture. So, like, for example, a culture of mistakes. The way we perceive mistakes in Africa is totally different from the way America perceives mistakes. You know, parents in America push kids to make mistakes. For us here, they punish you even when you're about to make a mistake. So they punish you for the intention of making a mistake. So I think, for me, I don't know, you will suggest, but if you allow that those 3 things impact a lot, you know, the mindset of an entrepreneur, we can base on 3. But if you come up with another one, we can also put it on the list. So if you agree, we'll talk about those 3 things. How did your personal background contribute to your involvement in entrepreneurship? Number 2, how did your continental education system as a USA citizen contribute to your entrepreneurial mindset and also contribute to the rest of the Americans? And also, how did our Rwandan education also delays you or pushed you? I don't know. When I'm talking of influencing your entrepreneurial mindset, it can either influence it by delaying it or influence it by, you know, triggering it. And also 3, how does the American culture contribute to your business involvement and the rest of the Americans? And also, how does our culture as Rwandans contribute our, you know, spirit of doing business? And here, we'll be honest, we are not doing politics here. You say it the way it is. You call a spade, right? So now tell me, how did your personal background, really, you started from a poor family, as I read your bio, and you built up and you became the vice president of the university, medical school. A lot of things, you know, a lot of careers you pursued, and you've been a consultant of, you know, business consultant for all these 50 years. Tell me, how does your personal background, you know, contribute to that, to all that?
Well, I would just introduce it by saying that when I was born in America, which was a few years back,
That's how many years?
World War II was in progress. And World War II was in progress when I was born. And I think that the mindset is developed by the reality that your country starts moving forward. And America was, my roads were very much like the roads in Rwanda when I was born.
Really?
My grandfather sold milk. He had milk cows and he sold milk. I saw all of these activities. They killed things, they killed their animals, whether it be chickens or whether it be beef, things like that, just to survive. And I saw survival really be an option. It's an option. There's no doubt about it. But my mindset started shifting to my future when I got involved in school and I started playing athletics. And my older brothers were both really excellent athletes, and so watching them made me want to be a good athlete.
You are doing which sports?
Basketball.
Basketball.
I played basketball and baseball. Was probably better at baseball, but the opportunities weren't there as much in baseball as it was in basketball. And I ended up receiving a full college scholarship to play basketball. So that drove me to go to college. I had no interest in the classroom. I mean, literally none. All I wanted to do was be there to play basketball. And as a result of that, I started getting to the reality that I had to continue to improve as a person in every way. And when I got my first job out of college, I was making more money at that time than my dad was making at the same time.
Really?
And
How old
that
were you?
really,
How old were you?
I was 22. And
you were making how much by that time?
I was making $8,300 US a year. Wow. The American dollar had not become of great value at that point. It started growing within my career time. So I just really got excited about being good at what I did. You know, once I could no longer play basketball, I wasn't going to make the National Basketball Association and be a pro. But I was determined to be as competitive and as good at what I did regardless of what it was. That was the beginning of my mindset. If you don't want to be good at what you do, you might as well forget being an entrepreneur, because you're going to lose in that process. So then I went on and got a master's degree, and as a result of that, I started seeing success, and I started seeing success with my work. And then I became an administrator in university life, and I started going through that process, but they didn't pay enough in university life at that point, so I had to have a secondary income. And so I started making a small, out of just a small cart, I had what was called shaved ice. It was a machine that shaved ice. We use ice a lot in America, but if you shaved the ice, it was like snow. It came out like snow. And then you poured a flavor on it, and people would buy it, you know. And so that's how I really started supplementing my income. And then that gave me a sense of challenge that I liked. I liked doing that. Ultimately, I brought a franchise with a Tropical Smoothie Cafe, and then ultimately I bought Trotter Electric. But all the time, I was continuing to work in the educational field and consulting field, because I still wanted to contribute as best I could. But I will piggyback on what Alex said, that the reality is why you become an entrepreneur may be partially selfish, but if you're not in an entrepreneurship position to create jobs for other people, don't get in it, you know, because I see people who have 1- and 2-person businesses, and they work themselves to death, you know, and they don't provide for other people. It is back to that individual success, even though they may own a company. So I really want to make other people successful. Tropical Smoothie Cafe, I had 18 young people who were employees. Wow. From that point, they're going to grow, and they're going to develop the desire to really they don't want to work Tropical Smoothie Cafe all their life. Not all of them. Some of them do. Some of them want to just work, and those are invaluable people too. So I just think it takes a lot of lifetime of learning. It's a lifetime process.
To convert your entrepreneurial engagements to your personal background, let me ask you this. How poor or how rich was your family when you were young?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I would say that we probably lived on $100 a month.
Really? And how many were you?
And there were 3 boys, 3 of us boys, and a mom and a dad. That was my family. And they lived in a community. My dad lived in a community where it was his granddad, his dad and his mother, and his 3 brothers. He had 3 of his 4 brothers. One of his brothers was killed in the war. But everybody lived in that one neighborhood.
How many rooms in the house?
I probably had 2 bedrooms, and we boys would be in one, and the mom and dad would be in the other.
How many were? I thought that's an African story.
It is. That's the reason I enjoy coming to Rwanda. Is I feel like I'm reliving my growing up years to an extent, which makes me very comfortable to be here. I don't feel, I'm not a city boy, you know, in any shape, form, or fashion.
So how would you drive to school? Footing?
Well, generally you would go in a wagon. Mm-hmm. We had horses. We had 2.
I tell you what, I don't know what wagon is.
My granddad had 2 horses.
Oh, 2 horses.
And they were work horses.
Yeah, cowboys.
They pulled the plow that plowed the field, because he was a farmer. And a dairyman, he had multiple little types of businesses. He grew watermelons, chickens, sold eggs. He did everything he could to survive.
Your father was a farmer.
And my dad was partially a farmer, but he owned the general store, and he started running a general store. So he became the...
I like your personal story. Now, let's come back to Fratel. Fratel, you see how amazing his personal story is. The guy grew up in a two-bedroom, two rooms, house, and he's this big. He now owns a 40-year-old company. I'm praying that maybe one day my company will go to 20 years at least. It's so hard, by the way, here in Africa to build a company to that age.
Yeah.
Even the owners of the companies, it's very hard to reach 40s.
Yeah.
So their companies can hardly reach there. Tell me, how did your engagement into business entrepreneurship, how is it related to your personal background story?
I think entrepreneurship is a key solution to everything. That's number one. Then coming back to my story, I remember when I was done with my high school, I thought of something that I can do because I was not getting job. It was a problem. Then I was wasting my time. And still, time was counting. I was getting old. I was like trying to messing
around.
That's
when the beard started to come?
Yeah, then I started struggling, trying to see what is happening around. And of course, back home, like comparing to my environment, like people living around us, my family is not really that much poor, because you get food, which I can call it's even enough. Like even we used to have like kids coming home to eat and go back, but then this doesn't show me like good image. It's like something is missing. Then from there I started thinking like, why this? Yeah, you can have a solution as one, but then that solution must go to others or be shareable. You can share the solution. Then how you cannot share something which is not enough. You need to go low and make it sustainable. So then the idea to involve into this business started when I then started the university. Then I went back at school. I was struggling a lot. Like when I was home, I was eating everything, feeling enough. I have family, I have friends, then have no job, then I get occupation, I go back to school. But when I came in Kigali, it was quite so strange.
You met the hell.
Yeah, this is a new world. What's this,
Where is your home?
Yeah, my home is in Burela, Burela district, in northern province. Then I come to the city. Here,
Burela,
close the border. Yeah, you pass by Musanze to Uganda. Yeah,
the coldest place.
Yeah, that's the cold.
I was there one day. It was around 10 a.m. It was so it was shining. The sun was crazy, but then I was shivering. I was like quaking, and then we had to take hot tea, and still were shivering.
Yeah. So, it's when you change the climate. That's what happened when I came here. In Kigali, then in life, I was like, okay, I was not employed, and I was a student. I was not getting enough money. I had a scholarship, then it was partial scholarship, and still my family was not able to pay for my fees, and I was not able to get a job. Then it was to the time where I had to drop out, then go back to my village. I said I cannot still survive in Kigali because I have no job. I have to go back.
Out?
Yeah. Have to go back to my family.
What was the reason of dropping out?
Yeah, just financial.
Personal maintenance or school fees?
Yeah, I think it's school fees, but at university, it was not boarding. I need to pay my rent, I need to pay my food, I need to pay my transport, everything, So, and I was getting half scholarship. Like only, which was
that's a good story. Keep telling me, man.
Then I went back to my family and I was like, Dad, I think it's not really good to stay there while I'm suffering like this. I cannot study like others, so I cannot even survive the way that can push me go forward with my studies. So it's a good idea that I sit down, I settle myself, so I become able to pay for myself and don't even have to make you trouble, And I said, so there is something that we call kwiharika.
You told your father, Father,
I
don't want to trouble you.
Yeah.
Let me find out ways I can take back myself to school.
Yeah. Then he said, okay, what are you going to do? I said, okay, Dad, what do you have for me? He said, Guy, I tried to pay for your high school, and now I don't think I'm able to pay for university, and that's something that you need now. you know. And for my dad, his mindset was like, okay, if I have a son go to university, this is it's kind of like good social recognition. Like I have boy who is smart.
I know where I come from.
Yeah,
so
you know
if you
that.
guys go to university.
Yeah. And then from there, my dad said, okay, I have some farms, go and cultivate. And I was like, you know, it's really rare to see like young men to get out of their comfort zone to go to the field, to the farm and cultivate like anybody else. So I was like, okay, this is for low class people, this is for those illiterate people. And I was like, okay, but no, you know, I was not able to go to study, to finish my studies because I was lacking money. So this is where the solution is. I have to go there. Then I was challenged. That's what I said. I was like, okay, I have no skills. And still my dad was doing farming and he was not able to pay for my fees. Then how am I going to use his portion of his farms and then get my fees and everything? That was a big problem. Then I was like, okay, I had this passion to do it. And the means was there because there was land.
Sure. But
the problem of skills, yeah. So, and my background was not agriculture.
Sure.
I was done like languages, arts and languages, entrepreneurship, but then agriculture was like blind. So I started talking to my friend who was studying in the university. You know, I said, man, you know, I want to improve the agriculture methodology in my family so we can increase production. Then I can start saving something. Maybe in 2 or 3 years I will go back to school or do any kind of other business. And said like, okay. So then he started understanding me and creating this kind of comfort, you know, and said, okay, just start doing it. I will come, I will supervise you, I will direct you how you can do it. And then he started teaching me how to use pesticides, how to do irrigation, which best season to do farming, things like that. I was like, oh wow, this is a really nice job. Then we started increasing production by...
You started growing what?
Yeah, we started growing everything, like growing everything. It was not so specifically like or particularly growing anything, just we were growing pumpkins, sorghums, beans, everything, but in a way that the guy will coach me and increase the production. Then my father started saying, okay, that's a really good job. So then, but why can't you keep collaborating with the guy and even teach other people, other farmers here to grow the production? You know, this is a really good solution. And I was like, oh yeah. Then me and the guy started San Angelo Community Project. Really? It was a project, not a company. Then we started teaching and training other farmers. We had a demonstration farm, and the farmers were like, okay, we're like, wow, see young people, see young men trying to involve in agriculture. Wow. See young farmers, they are really doing a good job, you know. And this was like very different to other people. Wow. That it was even not easy to understand how a young man like me, young man like my friend, can go to the farm and till and do something, yet they have the skills and knowledge to do something different. Sure. Because farming was for those local people,
that was last year, right?
People, yeah. And what I did from there, we started doing that like a project. Then we start, when the production from the farmers increased, we say, okay, let's find a market for you. For the farmers. So we started selling the produce from the farmers to good market, then get some profit.
Your commission.
By commission, yes. Then we started doing this, and I was like, okay, that's good. We can survive from this. We can get airtime. We can do some little savings. We can get shoes. We can get clothes, and then do savings. Then
I think that's when you started being so smart.
I was thinking of no.
Because actually you're the smartest in the studio today.
Come on. Yeah. Then and then the journey continued to where we sat down and said like, guys, you see, we're doing a good job, but how can we make it sustainable?
So to cut the long story short.
Yeah. How can we make it sustainable? Then we thought of registering as a company. Still, the project was there because we started involving and bringing in other youth, you know, and then, but we said, okay, let's make it a business. Then we did this as a business where we used to supply fresh pumpkins, you know. Yet I had a story from my uncle that the pumpkins are very important. And we started supplying fresh pumpkins here in Kigali.
Wow.
And some hotels.
Wow.
Then the research was going on.
What was your first hotel client?
Yeah, it's Virunga Lodge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In Musanze?
Yeah, in North. And also Chimirongo Market in Nyabugogo, then they come and buy there. And then...
How many pumpkins could you bring, like in Kigali?
Yeah, just helix. That's
Helix,
small, yeah.
that's small car. Like how many pumpkins? Between?
Yeah, like 1 tons.
1 ton of
1
pumpkins?
ton, 2 tons.
From how many farmers?
Yeah, actually, we started with our families, you know. Then we started combining, like we're getting like 20 farmers bring pumpkins. Yeah, we were like bring 2-3 times.
Anyways,
let me
okay,
continue
okay.
to how we formed our company. Then the research was going on with our guy who was studying in Senegal, and he was like, "Oh, guy,
is he Rwandese?"
Yeah, he's Rwandese. Yeah, he said, "Oh, we can get oil out of pumpkins."
There you
so still,
go.
yeah. Then really, yeah, okay. Then
was he on the board of the company or of the project, or was just a friend?
Yeah, he was a friend. Then I told my guy, my company mate, I said like, okay, how then can we start producing oil out of pumpkins? Okay, then we went to RDB to we present the idea and said, please test this idea. Did you know that RSB can test the idea?
For free?
Can test the idea for free and tell you, yes, they can even give S-Mark to an idea. Did you know that? Yeah, they said, yeah, this can be produced. Go and try it. We went, we called the guy, just come and start trying it. But then that was a challenge to find a machine.
Sure.
And we started saving, and talk to someone below the little money.
Give me this a bit.
Yeah.
The small one.
The small one. Yeah.
It's really annoying.
Yeah.
Can you give me a gift tonight?
Yeah, you can even use it instantly like that without cooking.
Can I drink it?
Yeah, you can taste it. Yeah. Seriously, you know what? But take little. Yeah, taste it. Yeah. Yeah, it's an oil.
I didn't even have oil in my lunch.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
So then this guy, we went to RSP. They said, yeah, the product is there.
Can you make juice out of this?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to tell you. We make pumpkin oil, pumpkin juice, and some cookies.
Because when I was drinking this, I thought it's a juice. It's a fresh juice.
Yeah, it's oil. It's oil. Don't lie the public. It's just oil.
Wow.
You know, then we started producing this. We have market. People start buying the oil. People were interested in buying the juice. Well, you know, they said, okay, guy, keep pushing. And we have even participating in some competitions.
How is my lips?
Yeah, that must be soft and.
Can girls also use it as lipsticks?
Yeah, Frank, this oil is so emollient, you know. Really? It has a very positive effect to skin. Can you look at me, see my skin?
Really?
How's it? Yeah.
I was jealous of your skin.
Yeah,
don't be jealous. This
is the solution, we can share it, you know. It's here for you. So, don't worry.
Okay, interesting, man. Give me this. That was, I like your story. I like the way you faced your father and says, I like the way you faced him. I wish every young man graduating from high school can have a hard talk with the father and say, Father, enough is enough. Yeah, I'm going to take care of my university. If that mindset can be in every high school graduate, man, okay, cool. I thank God you are on the most popular TV in Rwanda, so majority of the people, majority of the young men are watching. Let me say this in Kinyarwanda. Frate agisoza gatandatu egiye muri kaminuza umwaka umwe biranga aramunuka ajya mu cyaro cy'abiburera right? Yes, ana akonje cyane abwira bati kwiga birananiye amafaranga arabuze ngiye kwishakira amafaranga yanjye nisubize ku ishuri ibyo wamure birahagije iki kigomba kujya mu mutwe wa buri muntu wese usoje gatandatu w'amashuri yisumbuye niba uri umwana ufite imyaka 18 ufite indangamuntu yawe usoje gatandatu w'amashuri yisumbuye ugomba kuvana stress ku babyeyi bawe ugashaka ukuntu wakwishakira school fees ukijyana muri kaminuza.
Nanagiye mu Kenya muri social work education. Yeah.
So now let's go back to Alexander. Alexander, tell me, I know you come from Kayonza. Kayonza is just becoming a small town, but it's literally a village.
Growing actually to a bigger town. It used to be small.
Tell me, relate your interest in doing entrepreneurship to your personal story. I like the way all these two have, become real and told us fresh stories. So don't bore our audience.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My story actually started when I finished my grade 6, that's P6, where I looked for a small opportunity. I went to work in a place called Chibungo, and it's Chibungo Sache. So I got a small opportunity to be a storekeeper there. And when when we went to senior 1, I had some little money, and I told my mom, "You're not gonna shop for me. I'll use my own money."
How old were you?
I was around 14.
So at the age of 14, you started pushing your mom away.
Yeah, there is a friend to my mom who used to come to home, and I knew what he was doing. He was a consultant in construction. So I was like, I can come and be your storekeeper, make sure that your cement is not stolen and stuff like that. So he was like, can you really do it? I said, yeah. I was confident enough that he was convinced to give me an opportunity as a trial. Then I went, worked. After 2 months, I was supposed to go back to school. And part of the money I had, I had to make shoppings. And then the portion of the money was like, what can I use it for? And I had to start a small business. I went to the market, I bought some, hens, and then after buying them, I asked a friend who was staying in a deep village. They had a space where they can keep. I was like, I have an idea. Can we do this business? He said, yeah. So I bought 5 of them, and he kept them.
You understood partnership from the age of 14.
Yeah, that was an opportunity. And then to cut a long story short, even when I reached in senior 3, I got another opportunity to work with a construction company called 3 Chord. It was an international company. I was by then around 17.
17, you were also employed?
Yeah, so I got an opportunity actually to be a storekeeper. I remember doing an interview with different guys who had graduated from college and high schools, and I got a chance to go through with an interview. And the little man I got after my holidays from that very company, I started another small business of piggery. I bought pigs and I asked someone to keep them for me.
How old were you?
I was obviously 18 there.
You're so crazy.
And reaching in senior 4, part of the money that had remained, I looked in our...
At the age of 17, I had not even a single 2,000 on my pocket. So you guys were running businesses at that age.
So actually reaching in senior 4, that's when actually business came crazy to me, that I looked in our canteen and I looked for something I really loved. That was samosa or sambusa, meat sambusa, and you couldn't get them in our canteen. I was like, if they don't have samosa, I asked my friends, do you like it? They said, yeah, man, they don't buy them here. Why can't we be trying to get them from out? I said, this is a business idea. And I had my pocket money, which was around 80,000. 80, yes.
20 to 100?
Yes.
At the age of?
At the age of 18. Oh. So that was actually a balance of the money I used to invest in pigs. And
how rich or how poor is the family by that time?
By that family, I grew up in a family of one mother, one parent. So, and with 3 other siblings, and I'm the second born. So my mom does a small business, and actually catering for us wasn't easy. Me getting such opportunities would be her opportunity, never to actually.
So do you think the way your family was a bit unable to cater for everything was a trigger for you to find ways out?
Obviously, my worry was after P6, like, yes, I have finished P6, but how is life gonna be in my high school? I was like, if I get opportunity to make some...
The future became, an opportunity for you to find opportunity.
The worry, the fear was actually the trigger for me to start to venture myself in a business.
Let's have a break. 1 second. A break. This is the end of our show. It's been a crazy, phenomenal show. And now, Riley, from your experience of 50 years of doing entrepreneurship business, tell us, how can a young man in Rwanda, you are not in Rwanda, fortunately, how can a young man watching this show start from today and build his entrepreneurial mindset and become a phenomenal man like you have become?
Realize that you have the power to choose, that you have to personally choose to do what you're going to do. Understand the difference between education and knowledge. Education is a feature that we offer to people, but knowledge has got to be the end result. And then press on. Do not let anything stop you. Think big, start small, and work fast.
Whew. I wish I knew this when I was young. Tell me, you are also Rwandese. You built all this up from your funny, humble story. Tell the audience, the show viewers, how can someone watching you now start after this show and become a crazy man like you have become?
Yeah, thank you so much. Everyone, hi. I'm telling you this. Start knowing yourself, understand your portion, and take your time to understand what is happening around you, around yourself. Start with what you have, where you are, and make sure everything's variable. The most important thing to consider is just time. Let time challenge you. Let time ask you what to do. And then consider your environment and appreciate what you have before it turns into what you had. Please, catch up.
I like that. Time is speaking. Yes, tell me. Actually, for you, I want a special message. Tell me, how can someone create a balance of employment and also running his own company?
Thank you very much. The methodology is very simple. It's going beyond yourself as an individual and understanding the benefit of what you can create for other individuals. So that's the only source of actually creating an impact.
Mm-hmm.
If you have an opportunity of employment,
mm-hmm.
then understanding that if you want to leave a legacy behind, is going an extra mile of not living by your own, but also creating something that other people benefit from even when you're gone.
I like that. Can you please clap for each of you? Clap for each of you. So we are coming to the end of this show. We're coming to the end of this show. It's DecideX. It's every Sunday from 1 to 2 p.m. It's an exclusive entrepreneurship reality TV show. It has just come for you to challenge you, to introduce you, to induce you into the world of business. Man, I understand not everyone was meant to be an entrepreneur, but hear this, listen this. Everyone should have a financial freedom number. So I don't care whether you're doing business, whether you're doing entrepreneurship, whether you're running a company, whether you're doing a small business, but all I know is that you need some money to transport yourself, to feed yourself, to dress yourself, to give to your siblings, to give to your mom, to give it to your dad, and to pay some government contributions. So you need some money, and I think you're gonna be an entrepreneur in one way or the other. Thank you so much. Every Sunday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., be busy with us. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you for today. Thank you for everything. Give me a hug. I like your story. And yes, I like the way you faced your father. Yeah.